can you give me some good kudos of this? How about this sideline? Isn't this great? And both of them smiled at me. We literally we took a lot of pride in that in fall camp and practiced proper sideline management. And just making sure we know where we are and not getting across the line. There's always going to be excitement and thing, but they don't want people coming on the field, especially to argue a call and things like that. They're just trying to clean up the look of the game, and we all should be responsible and accountable to that. And so definitely, there's always going to be spirited conversation, but you just need to keep it off the field. But our guys did a great job, and so all those guys. But everybody, I had Coach V getting everybody back the other day. So Coach V was the best get back coach we had. So everybody just being conscientious because they're going to throw us flags, and and it's dangerous for those guys, those refs. We got to, they're running up and down the sideline, and sometimes you creep out and you're in the white, and you run into one of those guys. that's a automatic penalty, and it's dangerous for them. So. We can all do a better job of that, and that's what they're trying to emphasize, just trying to clean it up a little bit. I think they're off to a good start in doing it.
Coach, you mentioned the excitement of playing a night game at Death Valley. Last year, the two games, Louisville, South Carolina, both had big impacts, both different outcomes of the games, both W's. How does this place change when it gets dark outside?
It's just a night game in the Valley special, but they're all special to me. Last week, that crowd was, to me, that's what makes Clemson special. You're playing a non-conference opponent that many people aren't familiar with in a noon game, and it was unbelievable. Tiger Walk was amazing. It was just a ton of energy, and so it's always great to me, regardless of when we play. But there is something special when the lights are on and it's a full day of enjoyment in Clemson, South Carolina. The crowd, everybody has a chance to get here. You got traffic backed up all the way past Max coming in for these noon games, and a night game you don't have that. Everybody's here and ready to go, and a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Plan last week was to play all three quarterbacks. Going into this week, are you thinking this is Kelly's game as long as it's close and he's going to play the entire game?
Yeah, we went into last week, it was Kelly's game, and we were hoping to get the guys in, but it was going to be within the flow of the game. We didn't go into the game with, okay, let's put him in this series or whatever. Kelly's the starter. He's earned that, and unless something changes, that's just the way it is. So he's got the opportunity to go lead, and if a natural opportunity happens to get another guy in, we will. But it's got to be, like I said, warranted in the flow of the game. We're not going in with any type of rotation.
I think this past weekend was a perfect example of winning in all three phases. How important that is. Do you feel like that's an overlooked part of your championship run last season? Was how well the special teams played, and then in a game like this, the importance it'll play? If you just speak on that.
Yeah, you've already seen that this opening weekend when special teams play. It can be difference in games. Block kicks, return kicks, drop punts, snaps. Blocked field goals. You've seen it all in this opening weekend, so fumbles on kick returns. I literally saw everything all weekend long, and that can really impact games. So that was definitely a huge part of our success last year in critical times. We had some big special teams plays in the course of the season. You go back to Artavis's return against Louisville. It was huge. The Alabama game. There were big momentum special teams plays that don't get talked about a lot, but they were critical moments for us in the game. So it's something that we've worked really hard on. We take a lot of pride in, and it's a every play on special teams can impact the game. Every single play, and our guys have really bought in, and we've created a nice culture. Guys are having fun. It's something we're taking a lot of pride in, and definitely can be the difference in a game like this for sure.
How do you feel about Spears' performance on Saturday? first
Say,
started?
who?
Will Spears.
Spires?
Yeah.
He did a great job. Just had one opportunity, but, one punt, 49 yards. He launched it. So you got a chance to see what he's capable of doing. And then Carson came in and got an opportunity and hit a big one too. So I feel good about that position. And our snappers, new snappers. Phibbs and Spence, they had snap, and both those guys did a solid job for us.
You look at some of the results from the weekend. There was, a couple of really big upsets, and then obviously UCLA rallying from 34 down. Are those things that you point out to your guys and say, listen, this is why the process meant, because these things can happen?
Sure, we point out, we use anything and everything that we can find that is relevant to what we're trying to do and teaching our guys or preparing our guys. Yeah, we'll use it. So I always tell them, you're going to learn from your own mistakes, your own experiences, but a wise person learns through other people's mistakes and experiences and successes. So that's what we try to do, and it's a game that you can teach every single week, whether it be from what happened on your tape, but also other people's tape.
When y'all prepare, how relevant is Stidham's footage from Baylor?
It's relevant. Because again, you're trying to evaluate a guy and just find everything you can about him as far as his nuances and just the type of player he is, the ability to make all the throws. We've got limited film. Just like when you got a freshman that's going to play, you've evaluated his high school tape. You've done everything to try to find out a little bit about him personnel-wise when you don't have much footage. This early in the season, as we get going through the course of the season, you're playing teams. You got 3-4 games. You can kind of get a feel, but. We've done our research. He's a very good player. He can make all the throws. He gets the ball out quick in the gun, especially on the perimeter. He threw a beautiful deep ball last week. They didn't catch it, but it was right on the money. And so he's got a nice touch on the deep ball, and he's efficient running the ball. He's coming from Baylor. He's got a great understanding of the nuances of the zone read and the ball handling and all that stuff. So it's natural.
Debo, any thoughts on Florida State losing Francois for the year and kind of how that affects the race for the Atlantic Division this year?
Listen, I hate it for him. You never want to see that. That's a really disappointing thing for the young man and for his team and Coach Fisher and their staff. That's never something that you want to see. But it's a part of the game, and they've recruited well. They're going to be a really good team. They'll be a really good team, no doubt about it. They'll be right there in the hunt all the way.
How pleased with you or Overton's physical development, not just positioning when the ball's in the air, but also blocking as well?
Yeah, he's y'all have heard me say several times, he's one of the most improved guys we've had. He wasn't quite ready last year, and we just felt like we needed to get him a little bit of experience. Wish I could have thrown him in our power hour and redshirted him. Just didn't work out that way. But I tell you, he's really worked and he bought in. He was really more of a basketball mentality when he got here last year, and just struggled, from a physicality standpoint, consistency, just playing fast. The technique of the position did not come easy for him, but he has worked his tail off and is much improved, and now his confidence is so much higher. He's stronger, bigger, and but I'm very pleased with him. He's playing very well for us right now.
Coach, you spoke of your love for primetime football. What does your day leading up to a primetime game against a top program look like?
My day, like game day, it doesn't change regardless of who we're playing. If it's a night game, we have a set routine. Whether if it's a noon game, a 3 o'clock game, a 7 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game, we have an itinerary that we believe in as far as how we get ready. Nothing changes on Friday for us. Usually if it's a night game, our guys will have a little more opportunity to sleep in. We'll have an open breakfast. Some guys get up earlier, some guys get more rest, so we'll have an open breakfast, and then we have like I said, doesn't change regardless of who we play. It's always the same. We'll have our special teams and our offensive defensive meetings, and they'll have a little downtime, and we'll have a walkthrough, pregame meal, get on the bus, and go play. Nothing really changes.
Dabo, you've talked before about when you were a kid, on Auburn, Alabama week, you dressed up in the Tide gear and all that stuff. Do you have any specifically favorite story of, did you have to get physical with a kid down the street? Or what's your favorite Alabama-Auburn week story?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I probably had a scrap or two along the way. I don't know. Mostly my close friends. But I don't know. I just probably remember probably fifth grade. That was probably we all had to come to school dressed. You did that every year. You always had to dress in whatever your team was, and that particular year I think I had the big foam finger, and the principal came and got me out of my class, and I had a big old cowboy hat, and me and one other. We got a chance to go through all. It was great because I got to miss a lot of school, because I got a chance to go through the whole school, yelling "Roll Tide" at everybody and having some fun. But yeah, those were good moments. It was a lot of fun back in those days. All you had was just the normal TV coverage. So it was a big deal to watch the game and then go harass your friends or hide from them, depending on the outcome. And then a buddy of mine, Les Daniels, and I, his dad, and they were Auburn. He was an Auburn guy, but he would get tickets, and we went down to it was the